4, 3, 2,
and
fun
1.
time.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Sideshow
America.
Sideshow America.
Oh. So, you hear President Biden doesn't have COVID anymore, right?
I haven't been following it.
Oh, well, yeah. Apparently, even COVID wants somebody else.
I don't want to offend you, but that was kind of stupid.
Dad jokes.
I'm joking. It wasn't stupid.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, I mean, hey, you know.
Hey, we're all comedians sometimes.
At some point in our life. Yeah. So I was trying to follow today the ban on assault rifle, and I'm gonna be honest, people, I'm sorry. I'll get back to all of you. I gave up on it today. It just kept going on and on and on.
Yeah, it's kind of like reading a dictionary.
Well, they did like a recount with the votes. I sat there forever waiting for the votes, and it looked like they were passing it. I'm not going to say they were, and then all of a sudden they redid it.
It was just like almost like the election recount thing, kind of where.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and it's funny too because it even went overtime because they only have so many minutes, and the funny thing is, here's where we're gonna rant and talk about society today. Today's topic is about society
and ranting.
Because I'm like I wanted to cover news, but I'm like, you know, everyone's doing that. Everyone thinks they can do it. I want to tell you why we have the news. In case you're wondering why you're stupid and your mother-in-law sucks, I have all the answers. We're going to figure it out today.
I think I got an idea.
But Pelosi has this big sign behind her of this commercial for a mini assault rifle for children. And she's doing this salesman pitch about the marketing to children. And they're trying to get children involved and encouraging children to get these guns, and it can kill our children, and we're involving our children. And I'm thinking, this is funny coming from the very side that wants to castrate your children. The very side, okay, so like, how can I get my words out? Because as you guys know, I have a hard time conveying stuff. When she was talking, I wanted her to be quiet because everything about that side of the government that plays all of us fools is about killing children. We're fighting for rights for women because women have rights, but yet we're not supposed to identify gender, which confuses me. But women's rights to be able to kill your baby after they're born. Then we're concerned that there's guns killing children. We're kind of playing this weird game.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It's just...
It makes you scratch your head and think, what the hell? What the hell is going on?
I'm lost.
Yeah. Do you want to kill the kids, or do you not want to kill the kids? You know, I mean, no, I haven't seen the video, but Pelosi, I've seen her a bunch. I know she used to, I saw a picture of her in a bathing suit, and man, that lady had some breasts. She might have a saggy face, but her chest looked awfully supple.
How old was this picture?
Oh, God, this looked like maybe earlier this year, maybe last year. She still had the same face, so it couldn't have been too long ago.
See, I wish we had the cameras working because you got to see a look on this guy's face. You know when a young man is 17, 18, and they're a virgin, and the mother bends over and there's just a little bit of cheek hanging out. And she might be 400 pounds, but to a young man that's a virgin, there's a little bit of cheek hanging out. There's cellulite, you don't care. You haven't experienced it. And there's this look on the young man's face. You kind of have this look right now, like talking about Nancy Pelosi.
Like a kid in the 70s, you're looking at a National Geographic at the Aboriginal women. I see what you're saying.
Well, I used to have an encyclopedia. I was like 14 or 15, and this is the worst thing parents can do. And my step-grandpa gave it to me, and I guess he was an asshole. I don't know. But my mom would get so mad and say, you cannot look at this. I can't believe they gave that to us because I grew up in a deeply religious household. And I was always wondering why. And my mom said, well, because there's naked women in there. And so they took these encyclopedias and put them at the carport and tried to keep them hidden. You get what I'm saying? Like, what was your point of telling your young child this that's curious about? So I went through and I found every indigenous igneous women. Some of them are Filipino because I can't remember if it's north or the south. There for a while they still would be topless in their villages, and I just cut out and collected all of those.
Hang them on the wall, did you?
No, but you don't tell that to a young.
Yeah,
and the thing is funny is back then they had Ninja Turtles. We love Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Do you remember the figures, the action figures with the Ninja Turtles with I can't remember what they were called, but you could open up the shells and put the weapons in there. It's supposed to be like you keep them hidden.
Yeah. I can't remember the name, but I remember the turtles.
Yeah. So I took those pictures and folded them up, and that's where I hid them.
Michelangelo would have been proud.
Yeah, I hid them in those shells, man, and then
you still remember the indigenous lady.
I remember one. But the thing is, like, they weren't good to look at when you're young. You're excited about it. Like, that was exciting until you saw a Playboy. Then you're like, oh, well, shit. It's like those are those women.
I hear you. A few weeks ago I was in fight class and there was a woman breastfeeding her child in there, and she popped the tit out of the baby's mouth for a second, and one of the kids in class just. His jaw was to the floor. He couldn't stop staring. and it wasn't necessarily a good one even. It was just probably the first he had ever seen.
It was all leaky and...
Yeah, and just the look on his face.
Probably
the same one I had talking about Pelosi. I don't know what to tell you.
And for any audience members that's not following us that doesn't know who Nancy Pelosi is... Google it.
Yeah, you've been living under a fucking rock. You don't know who Nancy Pelosi is. Just saying.
I'm kind of disappointed in you that you were even looking that up.
I didn't look. It actually popped up. I was looking at videos, but bam, there it was.
Looking at videos.
I was doing my homework for the show, and it just popped up right there. The algorithms, man.
I don't know if I believe that or not, man.
I guess I must have been looking at something like that before if they would think that was something I'd want to see.
Yeah, most of them are looking up grannies.
Right. It's our time, over 50s.
Oh, man. Boy, we got way off track here. I'm talking about the evils of society. We're talking about...
Is this not one of them?
Well, this is going to follow up and explain what's wrong with our society. Because if you guys he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, you guys know... I lived in a Pentecostal household with pictures of women hidden in Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
So, I mean...
and it's almost your mom's
Hindu,
fault.
Filipino...
Your mom, if she didn't say anything about it, you might not even read the book.
I wouldn't have known about it.
Yeah, you'd have been like, I'm going to go back to playing with my turtles. Thanks for the book, Mom.
Well, I mean, I was 14 still playing with turtles, so...
Hey, that's all right. At least you're not 55, still shitting yourself and having women be your mama.
There's that. Yeah. So I'm watching this, okay, and it just her speech about what's killing the kids. And do you believe that's what's killing kids? Do you think the marketing guns is what's killing kids?
No.
And they gave a statistic. One senator got up and he said something like the mass shootings were up. If I remember correctly, you guys should really watch it because I don't want to misquote, but it was a high percentage. I think he said around 500% for mass shootings. And my question is, and we'll probably I've always got to be careful because YouTube will kick us out. Again, I go back to the conspiracy theory. Are these things planned, or are they pushing certain people to the breaking point to make sure this happens? Is someone getting paid? Or is there a little bit of all three things going on?
Like a subconscious push.
Like a subconscious push, yes. Because I look at the BLM riots, and I will never forget those because of the way the simple people that were staying at home acted about them. I'm still disgusted by them. People went insane in 2020. They literally, it was like the mouths of hell opened up and said, hey, here you go. It was the era for assholes to go ahead and come out and start being nuts. Where was the mass shooters?
Yeah.
Like seriously, I mean, I could not quit looking at the live feeds, even the CNN feeds. I was watching everything. Where was these?
Yeah, where were the shooters, and where were all these white supremacist people that are everywhere? You know?
Well,
I mean, like, if there was that much racism as the media would have us believe, you think black people marching in a parade would be that's an easy target, you know?
Well, it was like the end of the world. It was like, it was open season. We had, God, what was that called? Is it NFC? Yes, NFC. And if you don't know what that is, with Grandmaster Jay, are you familiar with that?
Yeah, refresh my memory.
NFC is the Not Fucking Around Coalition. And Grandmaster Jay, he's the head over this. It's an all-black militia. So he would get on YouTube and make lots of threats throughout 2020. The thing that's weird about Grandmaster Jay, and I want to be careful not to get off the subject here, but we'll talk more about this, is he would get on YouTube and do rants. He was training other African Americans for militia. He was challenging some people. They would have marches and stop cars, and they were armed. From my understanding, I don't think they pointed at anybody or anything, but it got pretty scary. And then there's video of him. I don't want to misquote this. We should look this up more and encourage the listeners to look this up. Where Grandmaster Jay, I believe, was security. I don't know if it was security for Trump or security for a politician. But it's weird. It was almost like this thing that was made up. It's almost like a theatrical production.
Performance piece.
A performance piece. So like what you're saying, you know, like I don't want to get too far off, but this all ties in together, is, you know, there is no white supremacist mass shooters. There is no even black supremacist mass shooters. You know, where the hell are the Hispanic gangs? I know there's shootings with black gangs, and there's certain small shootings at the riots. But as far as the mass shooting, like what we're hearing now, and going in and just mowing people down, where were they?
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden Biden's in office.
They're everywhere. Every other week.
Yeah, exactly. So what happened? So that's where I'm going to be honest, because I've heard several conspiracy theorists say it's productions by the Democrats. It's starting to look really suspicious. And I'm not saying, let me be clear, that these shootings are fake. I think some of them are acted out and faked. I do. But I also think some of them, I mean, think about it. The last few of them, there was warning signs. I mean, I'm just doing a quick brush over all this. I just don't want to be uninformative. This is all, you can look up plenty of videos on this. I'm just giving commentaries over the whole picture here. Yeah. How many of these guys, because you got a better memory than me, the last few of them.
I know the Uvalde one. That guy, like 2 years previously on social media, he had came out and said, when I turn 18, I'm going to go to this school and shoot a bunch of kids. He was already on the FBI watch list. Yeah, that was...
Well, okay, like, I hate to interrupt you there.
Go ahead.
FBI watch list. Is this to watch him because we think this guy's dangerous, or watch him that this is somebody we can use for the chess game?
Push this guy over the edge a little bit more, and he might do what he says. You know, I don't know, but it's certainly possible. You know, I mean, that's kind of my point on it is, you know, this guy had already made threats about this. You know, I mean, why didn't you do anything about it? You know, so it kind of makes it seem like your theory could be correct.
Here's the next part I have to throw out there with Nancy Pelosi and all the Democrats. And it's not all Democrats. You know, there's libertarians like this. There's people that aren't political that are like this, where guns kill you. There is a war on guns. Let's just be honest.
That's the truth.
You think about the war on drugs, and generally liberals even a lot of Republicans think the war on drugs is a bullshit war because it's not helping anything.
Yeah.
I do disagree with that because you do have other countries that don't have the drug problems we do because they don't mess around. It's a death penalty. You're done. You're done.
Like the Philippines, the guy that he catches you with the joint, shoots you right there on site.
Yeah.
Duterte, I think the guy is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I know. I've heard for a while. I haven't studied the last few years. I know Japan used to not have a problem because they didn't mess around. Nowadays, I don't know.
Oh yeah, well.
So I guess where I'm getting at with this, okay, the same side that says we need to legalize drugs because this war on drugs, it gets more people killed, it gets more people harmed, it's not solving anything, it's throwing a lot of innocent people in jail. And then we want to legalize marijuana, which we have, and I'm not shit talking marijuana. I'm not shit talking mushrooms. I'm not shit talking even fentanyl or meth, whatever people want to do. Shiitake mushrooms. But those same people will say the laws are not stopping anything, and these are the same people that want to ban guns. A lot of them are.
And defund the police.
And for some reason, we want to stop the war on drugs because it's not working. The drugs are still going to come on through. And those same people are like, well, we need to have a war on guns. We got to get rid of guns. How are we going to get rid of guns? Like, how are these gun laws going to work? Yeah, and have they been working?
No, well, if you look in the history of America, back in the early times, everyone had guns. They had guns in school. They had shooting clubs in school in the early 1900s. You know how many school shootings they had back then? 0. Everybody was armed. It's once the laws started coming out, you started having a lot more gun violence. Before the laws against guns, there wasn't that much gun violence. Even back with the times were racist, when you had the whites against the blacks had their own gun clubs inside the school. They never shot the whites never shot at them in there. Obviously, you had the trouble in the street with the racism, but they had guns in school, and they were fine. There was less laws about it, and you had less people dying. It's something you can look up. Viewers, if you want to look it up, It's out there. It's real.
Fact check this guy.
Yeah, fact check. Is this misinformation?
Well, I was listening to Nancy Pelosi on that. I was thinking, if this isn't working with drugs, how is this going to work with guns? How? These liberal cities want to legalize more drugs because it's not working. So they're trying to find programs to help, but yet they think we're gonna make guns illegal and take it away, and that's the one that's gonna work. Well, that's the law that's gonna work.
It's already started in Delaware. They already got videos on it online of people, the ATF coming to people's houses to check your guns. They say they don't have a watch list where if you buy a gun you're on the list, but they do have a list. If you're caught buying more than one gun, if you buy 2 guns from anywhere, from a gun show, from a gun store, you're on a list. The ATF's going to come to you, and they want to see the guns. That was last week. I was watching about that.
So
it's already happening.
So can you make this clear for even me and the viewers, because you stay sharper on that side of things. So say you have one gun, 2 years later you buy another gun. Are they going to come and check that? Or are we talking if you go and buy 2 or 3 guns at once?
Yeah, they're talking you buy 2 or 3 at once. And they say they're there, we're just there to make sure it's not a straw purchase. But let's be honest. Most people. All right. The straw purchase. They're coming to your house to see if you made straw purchases, and that's the concept of it. In actuality, you could just shut the door in their face. You don't have to let the ATF in to see your guns, because that thing we had back in the day our forefathers made called the Fourth Amendment. Illegal search and seizure. They just can't come into your house. Hey, we heard you got guns. Show us the guns. We just want to make sure you got them. But that's what they're doing. If you've bought more than one, they're going to come check you out. It's already happened in Delaware. Don't know when it's going to happen in other parts of America, but it's something that's going on. I haven't heard of any laws that let them do that, but it's happening. It was on a Ring. I saw it on the Ring camera, the doorbell cameras.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it was some guy in Delaware was showing that, and that was the first one I saw last week. So yeah, you buy more than one gun at a time, odds are you could have an ATF agent showing up at your door.
And see, it's ridiculous about that I'm kind of a rural person. I hate being in the city, and I probably shouldn't share this on the internet in case someone runs into me. But I like to go to places where there's nobody. And it's actually anyone that goes in the wilderness, and state goes out in the back where there's dirt roads, there's no gas for miles, there's no one for miles. You do run into every once in a while some questionable people, and you're out there, and if they have you're screwed.
Yeah, it's kind of lawless out there.
And it is lawless, and you're not going to get a park ranger or help from anyone fast. You got to think this takes a split second. The other thing too is there's bears and there's cougars, and the place I go, I'm not going to mention where it is. They used to, I don't think they do anymore. They used to have a problem with mountain lions that would stalk you. Well, this is in California, and one of the arguments is the laws that they try to pass for guns and some of the stipulations they have when you're driving through Stockton or Sacramento, where you're probably going to get mugged or carjacked, and you should have your gun ready, but you can't in those cities. Those same rules and laws apply when you're by yourself in the mountains and there's nobody back there. And it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's ludicrous.
The same laws they have in San Francisco, where it's very liberal, very retarded, is applying to this country guy that is raising cattle that has to take care of cougars and bears, getting his farm animals.
That's ridiculous, I don't know. I don't agree with that. But Frisco, it's like the homeless monkeypox capital of the world. So,
have you been to Stockton lately?
I haven't been to Stockton for a while.
Oh, man, I went to a Mexican restaurant, and when I came out, there was this homeless lady right in front of me. I mean, she was just peeing. It was like somebody just dumped out a bucket of water and shitting in front of me.
Popping a squat right there.
Right there. So it didn't attract me, and I had just eaten, so.
I had that happen when I was younger. I gave a girl a ride, and she's like, pull the truck over. Pulled over, she squatted right there and peed on the side of the road. First time I had seen it as a young man. It is very eye-opening to the situations.
What's eye-opening?
Watching a lady pop a squat right in front of you.
Kind of goes everywhere.
Yeah. No, it's like you ever seen a girl horse pee? It's like a waterfall coming out of there.
Because I feel like it's more like when you have a hose and you put your thumb over the hole and it goes this goes everywhere.
Yeah, it's like that, just a lot more volume. And the shoes, they're splashing the shoes. If they're wearing any shoes, there's going to be some splashback on it. So.
And that's why you purchase a Sheepy. They don't sponsor us, but hey, Sheepy, if you're listening, we are looking for sponsors.
Yeah, good old Sheepy.
And mind you, this goes along with our topic about guns.
Right. I say we need more of them. That's the problem.
I'm getting more.
There's not enough. And the next one I get is I'm going to buy from a friend. I think, I don't want to be on record so they can come to my house and take it from me. Or the $200 tax per gun that Biden was talking about.
Woo. Now, okay, I was following that. Is that yearly? I can't remember because I think they're talking about that being a one-time fee or a yearly fee. Then they're going to tax magazines and clips.
Yeah. Well, you never know with them. I mean,
they keep kind of changing and shifting stuff, and it's all over the place.
Just change the name. Is it a fine? Is it a fee? Is it your dues? I don't know. They can call it what they want, but they're going to get it.
Well, part of that thing today too, they're talking about grandfathering in if you already have those guns and you want to pass it from one family member to another, but you have to have all these applications and still have a background check, and they still want to keep track of it. They still want to know where it's at and where it's going to.
Well, Japan had that a while ago. I guess Japan doesn't have a lot of handguns or rifles. All the ones that they do were grandfathered in from the old days, so certain families have them, but they know who have them. But other places, look at the UK. They don't have a lot of guns there. So what do they have instead? Stabbings. There are stabbings every day. There are people throwing acid in other people. So I don't know. Does it really stop crime, not having guns? No. Doesn't work. Hey, murder's been illegal since we started the country. Does that stop people from murdering other people?
No, that's why they come up with plans on how to do it.
Yeah. There you go.
I don't know, man. I think the world's going nuts. And this leads us to our second segment here, TV and brainwashing. This is, and so I have to get this off my chest, and I have to tell you guys this. I just have to tell the audience this, and I have to tell you this. So my life, just for people that don't quite know anything about me or us or anything, I've led a life of adventure, okay? Poverty and adventure, really. But I've always traveled between different cities doing work. I've always explored. I've always like kind of worked out and done different things and exercised my mind a lot. And so I don't really watch a lot of TV. Anything I watch is like documentaries, or I watch talks. If I watch a movie, I might watch a movie or a show that's well written, but I barely just turn on TV and just let the TV have its way with me. Well, whenever I stay in a hotel room, I feel so sore in the brain, and it feels so foreign to me to watch television because you have all these ads, and for someone that doesn't watch TV, they really point out how stupid the consumer is.
Yeah.
The commercials, I don't think they're funny. I think they're stupid. They just point out how dumb you are. The programming and the shows, they have everything in a nice tight box. Like regular secular TV, that's standard television for just family friendly for everybody. It's silly, it's stupid. And so anyways, finally got a new TV, smart TV. And while I'm doing work, I'll let it run and play instead of using YouTube anymore. And I can't anymore. The subject, everything that is on TV, you see little signs of an agenda of who you're supposed to be.
Oh yeah, it's all there.
And there's this argument about misinformation on the internet, misinformation on Facebook, misinformation on Twitter, YouTube, misinformation in Facebook groups, and one side's accusing the other of information. And really, yes, I am going to be one-sided. One side is misinformation because one side does studying and has experience and researches, and the other side, they're watching TV. Okay. Because I didn't realize, like, all of us pick on the internet, but then when you go from the internet to TV, I don't know if anyone else has the same experience as I have right now. It's like a foreign world because you have them programming you, telling you what to think, how to be, and it's not just the news. Everyone picks on the news. It's the acting in the shows.
It's everything.
It's everything. It's the sitcoms. It's the subject matter.
Well, everyone, it seems like the TV is woke now. Everyone's woke. Like you watch any show, you got your token black guy, you got your token gay guy, you got your token lesbian, now you've got your token trans, and oh, guess what? The black guy's oppressed by the white bully at school. Oh, the big job.
And there's always a life lesson.
Yeah, there's always a life lesson, but it's a stupid, irrelevant life lesson that doesn't apply to life anymore. I'm just going to say it. Not everyone out there has a gay friend, a trans friend, a lesbian friend, a black friend, an Asian friend. I mean, the world just doesn't work like that. Yeah, it's diverse, but for the most part, I don't know.
But I think it goes deeper than that because I do think it sends out subliminal messages, and this is where I'm probably going to lose some viewers because this
conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, I think we've been trying to be broke down to get into this country for the enemy, whether it's China, communists, George Soros, whoever. And I think it's been a plan for several different generations because on TV, I'm around strong women that think there should be strong men, and I'm around a lot of people, and none of them are Republican, that think a man should do this and a woman should do that. Actually, when you turn off the TV and you're not on the internet so much, people actually have some decent down-to-earth values. But on TV, we're teaching young girls, you can't have a man tell you what to do, and you can't, and what I mean by that, I'm not saying a man can control you, like, you can dress however you want to dress. You can go to the club and party. You can go get picked up. And they make it like it's fun and it's zany. And I think they do send a bad message to girls that this is how you should be. You're strong and independent, but you have to go to the club.
You should be slutty, too.
You should be slutty. You should be slutty. And I really want to do an episode on the attack on women. And it's not the attack that everyone thinks it is. I think that they have broken down the man. They've been trying to with women, so they're kind of moving women all over the place mentally. And one thing is like it's your body, it's your choice. But we're going to present your biology and who you are and make people lust over you. Then you can't look at me, you can't lust after me, and I can do what I want to do. And the reason why I'm pointing this out, that this is subliminal messages on TV that we watch, is this is how young girls are seeing things. This is how some mothers are seeing things, which causes fights and arguments in the home, because I do believe people watch that and see that and perceive that as real life. Because the thing about the human mind is we're not as smart as we think we are. We look at role models, we look at examples, and we kind of copycat that. We're really not our own person. We kind of copycat stuff.
Yeah. Everything we see, everything we do, we've seen from some. Monkey see, monkey do.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what it comes down to. Well, no, that's what I tell my wife, just what you see on here isn't reality. That's acting. That's somebody playing. They're lying to it. They're pretending right now. That's not real. That's not how the world really works. Yes, there's some strong women out there, but you know what? There's some guys out there too that take care of the women. I don't know. I don't know. Just the new way of thinking, I think, has kind of screwed up America. I think it's a plot to separate males and females too. Yeah. They've done it with males and females. Now we're going to do it with black and white. Yeah, well, yeah. We're doing it with. Look at well, I don't know. You don't watch Netflix, but they have an all black, shows. Like that's one of the categories. You got sci-fi, comedy, action, all black. What the hell is that? That's kind of like black entertainment television. That's racist. That's I know, where's the white entertainment television? That's segregation. And they say, well, you have Fox. Yeah, you have everything. All things are white. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. It's just by putting that on it, you're segregating everything. Like we're going back to the 50s. You can't use this drinking fountain because it's a black man drinking fountain. What the hell? I don't know. I don't buy all the racist crap. I think the media and TV. They totally push it. They perpetuate it. Yeah, they keep it going. Because some of these shows that I just let play, it's shows I wouldn't normally watch. I guess I just kind of want to see what's going on in the world. I swear, every other show, like you're saying, right there's a push with, black propaganda. And this one show I was watching, well, I really wasn't watching it, but I was listening to it and glancing over at it while I'm doing my work. There's these rich black kids, good-looking black kids too, dude. Good-looking black girls, just good-looking people in a rich school, and there are some smart-ass kids that put 2 cotton balls outside of their dorm, and the whole episode was about it's just the end of the world for these black kids, and they're standing up against it, and so they're putting this plot together, just how the world's against these black people, and the girl's just giving this speech. You don't know what it's like. Every day you don't know when is your last day, when you're going to be like killed for who you are. You don't know. And here it is. Just a good neighborhood that none of us, black or white, none of us grew up in it. Let's just be honest. And they're making up this big thing, and it's like, and this is brainwashing, and people just buy into that. And they think it's real life. They eat it up, and right. So you have these little black kids out there watching that, little white kids, thinking, what the hell? Why is it like this? Why is everyone against me? They start feeling that and believing it. Art imitates life, and life imitates art. But I don't think it's really like that. No. Of course, they could say it's because you're white. Well, I'm not white. I told you guys I'm Sicilian. Yeah, there ain't no Sicilian privilege. He's being clear. Now, before anyone gets mad, if you can be clear about she or they or it, or be clear you identify as a Pop-Tart, it's okay that you want to make sure the lines are clear, that everyone understands this is a Sicilian. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, and that's it, That's what I was saying there, but yeah, it's right. That's not how the world really is. There isn't this black oppression. That makes me bring up my point. Is that Amy Griner, the WNBA basketball star that tried smuggling drugs into Russia.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. And during her trial, she brought up the fact that they didn't read her rights when she was arrested. It's like, have you not been paying attention in school, lady? America is the place where you have rights. They read you your rights before they arrest you. Other countries don't give a shit about you, especially if you're bringing drugs into there. And that's why people salute the flag that you kneel to. You don't even stand for that.
It's funny you say that because I'm seeing memes and I'm seeing people post on social media that if she was white, this wouldn't be a problem. If, all these ifs and this arguing and like everyone's trying to be smart and like if the situation was this situation, it's like this is a stupid conversation because this is Russia. And they're like, well, if she was white, we'd send somebody over there to rescue you.
Bullshit.
Nah, not really.
She broke the law. She's smuggling drugs. You know who they're talking about trading for her? The freaking Lord of War. If you heard the story, they made a movie about the guy, the Russian prisoner that we have. And this guy,
okay.
He's responsible for killing many, many, many people and selling lots of arms to some very bad people. We're going to trade a war criminal for a basketball player who's smuggling drugs. I mean, that just doesn't make sense. I agree that the Marine there, we could make a deal to get the Marine back, but don't give him the freaking terrorists. What the hell's wrong with you guys? I mean, we're going to trade one of their best terrorists for a WNBA basketball star that wasn't even that good.
No, it's the what do they do? Get like 200 people that watch a day?
Yeah, no, and that's I mean, it's just it's not feasible. It doesn't make any sense to most logical people. You can't trade a drug smuggler for a terrorist. I mean, she smuggled drugs in there. She knew that drugs are illegal in Russia.
But I think this shows us how out of touch all of us are. Well, not all of us, but one side. I'm going to say one side because like I'm tired of the Republican and Democrat fight. Where you have one side say, well, the Republican this and conservatives this, and one side says Democrat this, even though I'm on the Republican conservative side. I'm sorry, I am. But you have one side that has their feet on the ground, that are educated, and they've just been following stuff. And I'll tell you, the last 3 years, I have been following stuff like crazy, and we're already forgetting what's been happening the last 3 years. And you have people that come in and talk about theories of why the gas prices are high and this and that and the other and blah, blah. And it's like, where have you been the last 2 or 3 years? How this get, like where have you been watching anything? You can even watch CNN and you would still have the answers why gas prices are high, but because you forgot what's happened the last 2 years. And I guess my point being, before I get way over it, is this argument about this girl. We have one side that really is out of touch with reality. We're totally out of touch with reality. There's this argument, and it's like, this is a girl in another country. This has nothing to do. Like, we can't argue racism here. And you know what? I hate to tell you, if Russia is racist, sucks to be you.
Yeah.
That's why I wouldn't go.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm white, and I don't want to go to Russia.
Well,
okay?
It kind of shows disrespect on her part. It's not your first time in that country. You know the rules and customs. I know right now, if I go to, let's say I go to China, and they catch me with opium, they're going to kill my ass. That's what happens in other countries. It's not America where they slap you on the wrist and let you go. Other countries are more serious about prosecuting drug dealers and people that use drugs. So this lady, she knew about that. This wasn't her first time there. She played basketball for the Russians. She know you can't smuggle drugs into the country. What the hell was she thinking? And now that she got caught, people, we'd trade for her if she was white. Bullshit. Those people are ignorant.
Yeah.
Super
They're
ignorant.
TikTokers that watch CNN.
Yeah, TikTokers. The ones ruling the country right now are TikTokers.
That's another subject for another episode because I'm sorry. I think China is watching us. I think they're playing us like puppets. I think they're pushing us to certain behaviors and they're doing it to break us down. And, we just get on there and we're so cute. And this is funny. Look at my fat, retarded son making a fool of himself, 21 years old. Anyways, I won't rant on that. That's another episode.
And there it is. We could talk for hours on that. But yeah, that seems to be what the thing is. There's a narrative. All TV is pushing it. All kind of media is pushing the same thing, that we live in this world with bunch of racism in America, and we're bad, and you should feel bad if you're part white. You oppressed people, and it's like, that's not true. It's bullshit.
It's absolute bullshit. And I tell you what, I'm probably going to get more into this in more episodes. It's a message from the devil.
Yeah. From the devil.
It's a message from the devil. I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest. Some of the stuff I'm watching and seeing is starting to make me think. It's starting to make me think. I hate saying that, and I think there's a lot of people that are curious. I think church people are crazy, but I will just have to stick up for the religion. It's been translated so many times, and there's so many ways we want to get things across to people that may not be right. We hate religion now because of, again, the influences we've had. They kind of sucked. Because what's funny, and I guess we'll close on this note because we're going over time. Do you know who, is it Kat Von D is?
God, that sounds real familiar.
She's a famed tattoo artist, but I recently found out that she's a music artist too. Oh. Well, smoking hot chick, had occult and satanic things. Now, I don't know if she turned Christian or not, but she actually, a couple weeks ago, put out there she's gotten rid of her occult books and got rid of some of her witchcraft and satanic stuff because she says there's something going on very spiritual in the world and you better get yourself right. And I hate to say it, I'm like, I think so. There is a force going on right now, man.
Wasn't that Manson's ex for a while?
No.
Okay, she just looks like her.
Yeah, she looks like her.
All right.
Yeah, that one was a burlesque performer. They look alike.
Yeah.
So
they all look the same. They're all white people. Look all white people look the same to me. I tell you what, boy.
Never heard it put that way. You know, it's funny when they say that about because I think Asian girls are pretty hot, and it's funny when people say they all look alike, and I'm like, nah. Someone like me, no, they don't. No, I can tell you, man, who's Korean, who's Chinese, who's Japanese.
Chinese, Japanese, Vietnamese, Filipino. Yeah, Vietnamese and Filipino are awfully close.
This guy's getting pretty excited about this. Look at the look on your face.
I'm with you, because I used to say the same thing. My friend was like, no, there is a difference. There is a clear difference in many things.
Yeah.
Oh, many things.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. And, I don't know about, sometimes they make that joke about blacks, but I don't know, man. I've worked with a lot of Africans, and when they come from different parts of the country, they definitely have different features, man. They have different.
They're very different. You
know?
I mean, it's kind of like white people. I mean, they say we all look the same. Some whites say they all look the same, but it's not true. There's so many different shades of white people, so many different shades of black people.
50 Shades of White. Yeah.
50 Shades? I mean, I don't know about that many, but definitely that's what I heard before. Like a lot of the dark black people don't like Will Smith because they say, well, you're white black. You're not a real black man. You look kind of white. His skin's kind of tan. Whereas, say, Samuel L. Jackson, he's a bit darker. So, I don't know. No, they're just saying that came out when the white privilege started coming out. They said that people that are lighter colored blacks also have white privilege. So. Oh yeah,
that's right. I remember that.
Yeah.
I think they were saying about Larry Elder when he was running. They're like he's
Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom. Yeah.
I just think it's funny. I mean, I don't mean to always be on the race card. This last few years pissed me off. I just think it's funny how everyone. You know what black people should be mad at? If I have any African Americans listening to this, you guys should be pissed about this. You realize the last few years they have told you how you should think and how you should feel. You guys want to talk about slavery? They're still telling you what to think and feel because every time a black person has their own opinion, somebody somewhere has to pick on like Black Lives Matter, listen to this black voice. This black person has an opinion, but if you don't agree with us, you're a pile of shit. I mean, if you know, it's like Candace Owens, are you familiar with her? Dude, they just rip her apart. Anytime there's an intelligent conversation from the African Americans, they got to pounce on them and rip them apart. They should be pissed at that. They should be pissed.
Hey, I still go back to the election, You don't vote for me, you're not black. How can an old white man tell you what you are? You know what you are. What are you being pushed around?
And the arrogance, though.
Yeah.
The arrogance, and you know what? A lot of people still bought into that.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Mexican, male, or female. They all still bought into that. No one stopped and looked at them and be like, how dare you tell a group of people who and what they are? Like you're this authority figure, this king over them than who you are. I think they should have taken that comment more serious.
Yeah.
They really should have.
Well, slave owners, man.
Oh, you mean the Democrats?
Yes, Democratic.
Yeah,
slave
they're still
owners.
bullying you guys, and you guys are still voting for him. Wake up.
Yep.
Wake up.
Wake up, America. Sideshow America.
Sideshow America. And that is it with the ranting and the verbal diarrhea.
Oh, yeah. Explosive verbal diarrhea, mind you.
I don't feel like I thought I was going to rant more today, but
Hey, that's all right.
I'm too
I must
tired.
have thrown you off with Pelosi's breast comments.
I'm going to look that up.
You look it up, man. They are supple. They are supple.
What is she, like 80 years old?
Yeah, but it looks smooth.
You think it's from the aborted baby juice that you're talking
I think-
about?
Yeah, when you suck the blood of little children, it keeps your body fresh and young. I mean, shit. I'll have to look it up and show you. Maybe we'll show it on the next show.
Text me a picture.
Yeah.
You're right to me. Why are you texting pictures?
Is that Pelosi?
Pelosi.
All right, folks. You have a good one.
Peace out.
Wait.